From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.
Good morning. This is Craig Allison with your Morning Pulse for Thursday, February 26th. Sorry for the delay on Morning Pulse. Just fixing up some technical difficulties back here. But we'll get you started with question of the day. Question was, Americans spend more than $700 million on this condiment every year. What is it? Answer was barbecue sauce. Sad to say, myself, Megan Conway, did not get the three-peat we were hoping for this morning. But Jessica Blum did, so congratulations to her, I guess, but would have really liked to have gotten 3 in a row. But anyways, let's get you to more serious news this morning, into our top 6 stories from this morning. Starting things off, opening statements begin today in the trial of Christopher Johnson, the man accused of killing 2 people in a shooting outside a Southwest Lincoln strip club in 2024. We were not allowed inside the courtroom during jury selection yesterday, but once opening statements begin just here, actually in the next few minutes to hour, we will be there hearing from prosecutors and the defense. Johnson is facing 2 counts of first-degree murder in the death of Carlos Silva and Terrell Jones outside the Office Gentlemen's Club. If convicted, Johnson could face the death penalty. We will bring you coverage throughout the trial, and you can follow the latest on our 1011 Now app and over on Roku. Second story this morning, an update. All yesterday morning, we were following a large police presence at an Office Depot near 48th and R. We now know it was the site of a burglary and officer-involved shooting. According to LPD, when that officer arrived on the scene just before 2 a.m., he found a 49-year-old man trying to enter the building. Body camera screenshot provided by LPD. There it is on your screen, showing the exact moment the suspect fired at the officer. Police say the suspect was hit multiple times, taken to the hospital after his release. LPD says he'll be charged with attempted murder, burglary, among other charges. The officer has been placed on administrative leave, and LPD plans on releasing the names of both the suspect and officer eventually. Heading over to our election coverage, your ballot might look different this primary election. Lancaster County Election Commissioner says they're putting a color-coded bar on the top part of the ballot that represents party affiliation. We learned this from a newsletter sent out to poll workers that was forwarded to our lead reporter, Darcia Dodge. Lancaster County Election Commissioner Todd Wilchin says it's about reducing poll worker error and said the other counties use this system.
We've had poll workers make mistakes. They've given the wrong ballot to voters, which there haven't been any huge, it's not widespread, but it's just a common error that's made.
Sorry about that technical difficulty there. Todd Wilchin is not a UNO student. He is Lancaster County Election Commissioner. Just an error on my part there. But that being said, while voter registration is already public and can be seen online, the issue at hand is voter privacy. Civic Nebraska telling us they trust our trained local officials, and the Secretary of State's office has yet to respond to our request for clarity. We have asked if it violates a seemingly ambiguous statute requiring ballots to be white. Your fourth story, and a rather shocking story from past few days. Northern Nebraska County is scrambling this morning after the entire Boyd County Sheriff's Office resigned. This was first reported by News Channel Nebraska. The departures first started when 11-year veteran of the force, Sheriff Clarence Reed, resigned Tuesday. Then yesterday, 3 deputies and a secretary followed suit. Workers say they resigned because of low pay and lack of benefits. Reed says the county gave them $400 a month to use for insurance. Now, the Nebraska State Patrol will be filling the gap. Troopers will be doing extra patrols and answering calls for service. Now flipping things over to sports news, a big second-half push from last night's game helped Nebraska pull away for a 74-61 victory over Maryland last night. Nebraska trailed early on, but a strong second half, highlighted by an 18-3 run, eventually turned the game in the Huskers' favor. Off the bench, Braden Frager led all scorers with 21 points and 8 rebounds, while Bryce Sanford added 16 points and Sam Hoiberg chipped in 12. Nebraska now improves to 24-4 overall and 13-4 in Big Ten play. This ties the Huskers up for a program record for conference victories.
You can't take Big Ten wins for granted. There was a time where we lost like the first 12, I think, my freshman year or something along those lines. And even though you're not playing a team at the top of the conference, you have to take these games seriously, and you can appreciate winning these games.
All credit to the crowd. I mean, it's just a lot easier when the crowd has our back, and carries a lot of momentum throughout the whole game.
I told them before the game, if we win the glass, we're going to win the game, and I think we won it by 1. So, we found a way to continue to compete when things weren't looking great out there.
Now, this was the second to last home game this season for Nebraska. Up next, they head to LA to play USC on Saturday. And wrapping things up with your final story for this morning. It's been trending nationally, so you've probably seen and heard about it, but we're learning more out of Omaha after a sinkhole suddenly appeared in the Exarban neighborhood and swallowed 2 vehicles. City engineer Austin Rouser says there's evidence a pressurized water source like a plumbing system or water main have been eroding the soil for some time. Despite this, Rouser says it's strange that a large sinkhole would form without anyone noticing.
It's fairly unusual for anything to open up that manifests at the surface, because usually we have some indication beforehand of some settlement that occurs that gives us a good indication there might be a problem there for us to investigate.
Thankfully, the drivers involved were not injured. Omaha police expects the road to be closed for several days, though, and says it's possible the sinkhole could expand. That's going to do it for your morning pulse for this Thursday morning, and we'll wrap things up with a look at your 7-day forecast before tossing things over to Jessica Blum.
Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Jessica Blum here in the 1011 Severe Weather Center. Your Thursday looks rather quiet. We may see some low-lying areas, develop some patchy areas of fog early on, but that shouldn't last too long today. As you look at Skycast by noon, statewide sunshine with a west to northwest wind around 5 to 15 miles per hour, occasionally gusting up to 25 miles per hour, but a pretty quiet evening. So your morning commute looks pretty good. Mostly clear skies, temperatures seasonal in the low to mid-20s, and warming efficiently today, some 40 degrees, ending up in the lower 60s for a high, and mild, above average too for this time in late February. Those average highs are closer to 45 degrees, but we'll be in the lower 60s, if not the middle 60s for a lot of southern Nebraska, in and around I-80, and especially closer to the Kansas border. We'll be in for a top 10 day on your Friday, with temperatures climbing closer to 70 degrees.
From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.